News tonight, it is breaking news. 2 police officers were shot this evening during the 4th of July festivities along the Parkway. The gunshots rang out just as the fireworks were just starting, sending people running. Well, this is a very active scene, and we do have team coverage. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson is live for us at Jefferson Hospital, where the officers were taken. But we also, of course, have Annie McCormick, who has been on the scene since this started. She's been on that scene because this was her assignment tonight, to cover the festivities happening along the Parkway. Our own crews tonight getting caught up in the chaos and right there to cover it as well. So we're, of course, going to start now with Annie, who's back for us now live along the Parkway. Annie, are you there? What can you tell us on what we know at this point?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to walk you through what we saw. We were actually preparing for our 10 o'clock on PHL 17 live shot just before 10 o'clock, and that's when the fireworks, they began at 9:45, so we were hoping to have them in our live shot. So we were standing actually right over there, if you can see where a lot of that trash is, and as we were filming the fireworks, suddenly I started to see a huge group of people. I saw their faces, which is an important distinction because from where we're standing back at 21st in the Parkway, which is where we are right now, we're seeing all the backs of heads of people because everyone had a better spot up closer to us to watch the fireworks. So immediately when I saw just dozens and dozens of faces running towards us, we knew something was wrong. And then we got a call from our assignment desk saying that they were hearing that 2 officers had been shot. So at that point, we knew that we had to run. One of the main concerns we had was of the barricades that were up, if we could get around them. And we saw people just leaving everything on the ground, shoes, entire picnic dinners that they had, a woman grabbing her baby out of a stroller and just running. And so because of the way that police were situated all along the Parkway, and also medics too, there was a very quick response that police were able to safely let people out and help them get to a safe spot. So at this point, police don't want anybody in this area. What we do know right now about exactly what happened, Shari, is still developing, but we do know that there was a report of a shooting in the 2500 block of Spring Garden. That is where 2 police officers were shot. One officer is a Philadelphia Police Highway Patrol officer. He suffered a graze wound to the head, and he was taken to Jefferson University Hospital along with a Montgomery County officer who was attached to the bomb squad out there, who was assisting, as often happens in large events when Philadelphia police get assistance from officers in surrounding counties. That officer was struck in the shoulder, again, is also at Jefferson University Hospital. What we're hearing from sources is that this happened further up, closer towards the art museum. So the stage was on Aikens Oval, and so it was behind the stage, but in front of the art museum steps. It was somewhere in that area. So if you're not from Philadelphia and you're watching right now, the front of art museum steps, the Rocky steps, that's where the statue is. It was somewhere in that area that they believe is where the shooting happened. It's also where the tactical operations was set up because of this event. One working theory I'm hearing from a source is that somebody may have just fired a shot in the air, but police right now are fielding a ton of calls from people, so they're getting all sorts of tips, and right now they need to flush all of those out to figure out what exactly happened. We do know that there was a heavy police presence around Parktown Place, which is an apartment complex in the art museum area, but at this point we don't know if there's anything exactly happening there, if that's just part of the investigation, another area that they're looking for evidence. There is a large police presence around the area in the 2400 block of the Parkway, again, because that's where they believe that the shooting originated. So at this point, they still could be looking for evidence. But there is no word of a suspect, of a named suspect, if they know who the suspect is or if anyone is in custody. That piece is important, and that's what we're still waiting to find out from authorities as they continue to work this case. Now, Shari, when the shots were fired would have been simultaneously when the fireworks had just started to go off. And like we were saying earlier in the 10 o'clock, is that the jumbotrons that line up along the Parkway were not only showing the fireworks display, they're also playing music too. So when we were thinking earlier, well, maybe did we hear those shots? We don't think that we actually heard them because the fireworks itself were so loud. So another thing, About an hour ago, we were talking to one parent who was desperately trying to find her child. We do believe that they were reunited. Police do want people to know that if you were separated from your child or a person, head to 18th and Vine. That is where they are reuniting people. As far as getting your belongings that you may have left when you were running, leave it. Be glad you got out of here. And police will help you figure that out tomorrow, but now is not the time to come back down here. In fact, we are being kept at 21st and the Parkway, even though we want to go up further to see if we can find out any information and get a little bit closer too. We do have one photographer that is closer to the area of 2400 block of the Parkway where that investigation is going on at this point, so we're hoping to learn more information there and also learn more information from police about exactly what they think happened. The good news is that both of those officers are in stable condition.
And that is the good news. As of course, we know right now, Annie, officers are working to gather as much evidence as they can to try to figure out what exactly led up to this and who is responsible. Okay, Annie, stand by for us. We want to go now to Action News.